What's up guys, GTFK11 here and welcome to my review for the 2014 Russian Grand Prix at the Sochi Autodrome in Sochi, obviously, what we're talking about. Anyway, just first of all, huge congratulations to Mercedes for clinching their first ever Constructors title in nearly half a century. And it's a huge achievement. I mean, going back from, well, basically it all started back in 2009 when Ross Brawn bought what was left of the Honda F1 team when they pulled out the Sport right at the end of 2000, well, pretty much right at the beginning of 2009 testing. They pulled out the Sport just pretty much by surprise, and Ross Brawn managed to buy it all back. What the majority of it, like the most important parts of it. And what he managed to do since then was unbelievable. And Toto Wolff said, and Niki Lauda said also, that this championship win for them would not have happened without Ross Brawn. I mean, obviously Ross Brawn is not in the Mercedes anymore, which is a bit of a shame, but he would be very proud to watch Mercedes dominate this season. So many 1-2s for Mercedes, and obviously Mercedes clinching their first constructors title, so it's huge congratulations to them. And then also about to break another record held by McLaren since 1988. Currently Mercedes has 9 1-2s, which is one away from matching McLaren's record of 10 1-2s in a season. So they've got pretty much good time to do it. We go back next to the US Grand Prix as a track that could suit them, as nice and fast and sweeping, but also historically it does suit the Red Bulls as well, because of its fast nature and, well, the fast corners really. But we just need to wait and see what happens. And yeah, Lewis Hamilton won the Russian Grand Prix, obviously his first win in Russia. So obviously, since we haven't actually seen a Russian Grand Prix in Russia since 100 years really. People will say, oh, but F1 is in 100 years, yeah, but the Grand Prix is, the World Grand Prix is. I don't really know what race it was, probably some weird Formula race, but I don't know, I don't really care, to be honest. So Lewis Hamilton wins, extending his lead from Nico Rosberg to 17 points, so 17 points ahead of Nico Rosberg as we go into the last 3 races of the season. Now it's going to be extremely important that Lewis Hamilton keeps his well, let's say streak of race wins, because the difference between first and second is 7. First you get 25 points, second you get 18 points, so yeah, 7 points. So if it's constant 1-2s, and if Lewis Hamilton wins and Rosberg second, then it will go down to the final race. In Abu Dhabi, and it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens. Obviously, Nico Rosberg's under a lot of pressure to perform. That's the reliability, but also you could see pressure as well. I mean, he keeps cracking under pressure. If you've seen the race, the Russian Grand Prix, Nico Rosberg tried to take Lewis Hamilton into turn 2, or turn 1. Well, let's say turn 2, because say turn 2. He tried to go around the inside, tried to do Lewis Hamilton on the inside.
Gay!
Of turn 2, and he locked up his front brakes. He was going too fast. I think he was thinking, hey, I'm going to take Lewis Hamilton, yeah, and then just brakes too early, and oh no, ran too wide. Flat spotted his front tires stupendously, and as a result of that he had to pit at the end of the lap. So then he had to work all the way from the bottom to the top, start from the bottom, whatever. So he did extremely well to finish second in 52 laps on the primes. 52 laps. Now, if Codemasters actually put that into F1 2014, oh, I would love that so much. But it's not. In fact, the drivers were quite surprised about how well the tyres were actually performing. Because, well, obviously you would expect that a new track, as we've seen previously, like in the American Grand Prix, Indian Grand Prix, when they first started, that was quite tricky. That the cars would lose quite a lot of grip on a new surface, because a new surface, not a lot of racing happened on it. I mean, particularly this Grand Prix, not a lot of racing. Basically, F1, Formula 1. Obviously, Formula 1, GP2, GP3, they were the only race series to actually, the first race series to actually race on the track. So the track wasn't actually that used before, obviously, and as a result, didn't have that much grip. But in fact, some of it apparently has something to do with the tarmac. That the tarmac actually helped the tires have a lot more grip, and as a result, we've actually seen majority of the grid manage to finish with just a one stop. Which was quite remarkable, but also fuel was an issue. I mean, we've seen the first GP2 race, the feature race after qualifying on Saturday. We've seen then they actually had to decrease their number of laps by 2, so I think it was about 26 laps that they actually did instead of, well, yes, 28 because of the fuel issue. That is it's a 3.1 mile track. It's one of the longest tracks on the calendar, but obviously it's around about 1 minute 35-second average lap on the track, so it's long, but it's very fast, like very fast. I mean, you don't really need to go in second gear in the majority of the corners, so it's actually a really fun track. I mean, I didn't really like it when I just looking at the pictures of it, but just seeing the F1 cars go around, I mean, the flow is unbelievable. I actually really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to play it on the new F1 2014 game. But anyway, let's not get carried away with the track. Valtteri Bottas finished 3rd in the race. His teammate Felipe Massa finished 11th, which was a bit of a shame. He had a fuel pressure problem in qualifying, which meant that he lost at least, was it 15 miles an hour? 15 miles an hour he lost because of it. It was about 3 seconds a lap he lost in qualifying because of it, which was a huge shame. But Valtteri did very well. He put some pressure on, what would I say, Hamilton? Well, you probably could say Hamilton in the first stint, but after the first pit stop, Hamilton just took over the race. He was just nowhere to be seen. But when Nico Rosberg managed to fight his way up, Valtteri did put some pressure on him. But Valtteri did actually set the fastest lap of the race. But quite some margin, actually, 8/10 of a second. He managed to take the fastest lap of the race. He was 4 seconds behind Nico Rosberg at the end, 17 seconds behind Hamilton. Well, yeah, it was actually a top 5 for Mercedes powered cars. It was top 5, so obviously both Mercedes 1 and 2, Williams 3, and McLaren 4 and 5. So it's going to be rather interesting to see. It was quite remarkable to see this, and you could probably say that obviously the Mercedes, you could say, are more powerful because of reliability over the Renault and the Ferrari powered cars. So you probably did see why there was a top 5 for Mercedes powered cars, and so you might be able to see this again, never know. And Sebastian Vettel, he finished 8th, well, behind his teammate. So what this could be Sebastian Vettel's first season in which he hasn't won a single race. I mean, obviously Daniel Ricciardo, on the top of my head, he won 3 races, so you can see Canada, Canada, Hungary, no, was it 2 races? No, 2 or 3 races, let's just say that. I'll probably put an annotation somewhere. So it could be the first race in first season in Sebastian Vettel's career that he hasn't actually won a race. I mean, that is remarkable. I mean, you would never expect that for Sebastian Vettel, particularly in Red Bull. But you never know what could happen in Ferrari next year for him. Obviously, as I record this video, it hasn't actually been confirmed by Ferrari that Vettel will be leaving, will be joining them. And I don't think there's, well, I'm guessing there was probably some news about Fernando Alonso, but nothing has been confirmed about regarding their driver lineup for next season. But Red Bull has confirmed that Vettel will be leaving and Daniel Kvyat will be joining them. And Daniel Kvyat, in fact, will start the show for qualifying. He qualified 5th for his home Grand Prix, but he finished 14th, and that's just the problem with the Toro Rosso. I mean, the Toro Rosso is not too bad in the straight line, but he was, obviously with his lack of experience, and at the start, I think he just pretty much lost place by place in the first lap. It was a shame, but it was really good to see Daniel Kvyat. And we just need to, it pretty much really excites me really. What can he do in Red Bull next season? Could he turn that into pole position, or maybe a race win? You'll never know. To start that, Lewis Hamilton dedicated this win to Jules Bianchi, and in fact all of the drivers said that they were racing for Jules Bianchi, who currently is still in hospital. There's been no major development in regards to his condition, but apparently there's some rumours that his condition is deteriorating. I mean, it's a huge injury that he's occurred. The majority of his brain has been damaged as a result of his injuries, as well as a result of the crash site that he had a couple of weeks ago back in Suzuka. And apparently 90% chance, victims, 90% of the victims who has this injury and don't in fact regain consciousness. So it's really sad to hear that, and we really hope that Bianchi will make some sort of recovery. So yeah, hashtag pray for Jules. So that's the end of this video, guys. This will actually be my last review video, hopefully, on F1 2013. Obviously, F1 2014 dropping this week. I pre-ordered it on Amazon. It should come this week, and I should be able to record some American Grand Prix footage. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. This has been GT5 Game 101, and I shall see you there.